Hey folks, so we've got bit of a different approach to deck profiles this time around. So OTS Store Championships are going on right now, and basically we had an OTS Store Championship today in Galway. I wasn't able to be there, but got a report back from the winner, and you can see it on the screen here. So we've got Mathmech, which is after winning the OTS Store Championship in Galway. So it was playing 3 Ash Blossom, 3 DD Crow, 3 Veiler, 2 Bell, 3 Addition, 3 Circular, 2 Diameter, 2 Sigma, 2 Subtraction, 2 Parallel Exceed, 3 Gamma, 1 Skullmeister and a Driver, 1 Call by, 3 Signet Mining, 1 Equation, 3 Imperm, 1 Induction, and 1 Superfactorial. Along with we'll go to extra deck next. So we'll see 2 Alimbertion, 1 Laplation, 1 Access Code, 1 Appaloosa, 1 Wicked, 1 Heat Soul, 1 IP Masquerena, 1 Linger Evo, 1 Link with Devotee, Link Disciple for the combo, Almirage, Flash Mage, broken card, Transcoke Talker, and finally Update Jammer for OTKs. So then we get to the side. So I'm actually going to go. I'm going to go the opposite direction for the spice part of it, right? So 3 Rivalry, 1 Reboot, 1 Twin Twisters, 1 Feather Duster, 3 Dark Ruler no more, 2 Cosmic, and 3 Nib in the side, and finally a Firecracker, which is you can discard this card, inflict 1,000 damage to your opponent, and if you do, skip your next draw phase. So this is your burn in time or your burn in time win condition if you do win in time. So what we have from the report is a lot of the choices were made based on the cards I had liked. The amount of hand traps. Skullmeister was great, even though he only played against 1 round against Tearlaments, and he'll probably get rid of the Firecracker, specifically because the way of winning in time is to win quickly in Mathmech, and that's fair enough, I think, to be said. Along with that, it went 4-0 because it was a 4-0 OTS Store Championship, so kind of fairly mid-size, but decent size for Galway. Matchups were Runic Sprite 2-1, Eldritch 2-1, Tearlament Punk Sprite, or Punk Tier Sprite, or PTSD probably, 2-0, and Rika Sun Avalon 2-0. So fairly diverse and kind of middle of the road sort of Tier 1/Tier 2 decks a lot of the time. And for the most part, what he wanted to say as well was that he'd like to play a copy of Zeroboros for back row decks, because your regular end board can use it, but the extra deck is just too tight, and also that he's considering cutting Heat Soul. Which I find a bit surprising myself, but it's just based on the number of hand traps. But for the most part, I think it's very solid. It's clearly very targeted towards the meta. In this case, mostly probably Tearlaments with the DD Crows. It covers Sprite then with the Gammas, Imperms, Ashes, and Veilers. So it's a fairly, one card combo deck. So it's better with hand traps than it is with board breakers in most situations, because the way you break the board is often with your Mathmech, and then the way you disrupt or stop your opponent from building a big board is with the hand traps. So in general, I think it's a pretty good meta choice, and it obviously brought him to success. But huge congratulations. I think most people maybe have probably not seen the Firecracker in the side before. I've never seen it. Yeah, at least, I think Mathmech wins pretty quickly anyways, for the most part. That's sort of the aim or intention of the deck. But yeah, I would say to keep an eye out. So Alex himself is he's like 16 or something, but I played against him on Dueling Book, and I think he was playing basically this list, probably a bit different in the side deck. I was playing Danger Tier, and he swamped me, or no, not swamped me. What's the better word? He destroyed me or crushed me multiple times because of the number of hand traps in the list. So if I milled a good tier limit name, it was instantly DD Crowed. And also, if they're going first as well, he has the ability to search out Skullmeister. As well as that, the kind of Laplation is you don't do it unless you know you're not playing against tier limits. So basically, you aim to try and make Alimbertion to search for level 4 monster, and then search for Skullmeister off of your induction, off of Superfactorial, just so you have an idea for what the purpose of that is. Laplation is more so for maybe Sprite or something like that. But if you think they're playing tier element, you don't make Laplation because it trigger their tier names. That's just a bit of information in terms of, I guess, the matchup. Tier element's is gaining a lot of popularity. Sprite's still up there too, but for the most part, I think tier element is honestly probably the more accessible deck in some ways. I know the field spell is quite expensive, but for the most part, people probably already have dangers. They already have this or that, and mixing of engines increases the ceiling a lot, and people tend to like combo decks sometimes. So in general, yeah, I mean, it's a really good profile. I hope you all have a good time sort of, maybe trying it out. I'll include the link in the description as well for this. And yeah, I mean, one thing that he'd consider changing is obviously adding a Ouroboros for back row decks and taking out the Firecracker because he didn't need. That's kind of the end of that. Thanks very much for watching. Hope you have a good time. So this is our IRL event. So Mathmech is sealed out the first one in Ireland. For the most part, we have another one tomorrow. So we'll see how that goes. But yeah, thank you very much for watching. GG, sirs. GG.